I've now got the kill switch fitted. Took a few different goes. I've seen a number of builds where they're mounted on this back section here. I found that just didn't give me enough room. I couldn't get the console to seat, and also it was a real stretch to get to. So I've made up this just a very thin piece of aluminium that I've cut. Just shaped it roughly around here. One bend here, one bend on top to get it flat. Just a couple of L-shaped brackets at the top there, and mounted it in here. The pull cable just goes through the side here, so it pulls across. Now, difficult to show this. The two terminals are covered with these very large terminal covers, just to prevent any risk of it arcing or shorting out, especially in the event of an accident. At the bottom there you see the two blue wires. That's the feed and return from the ignition. That goes on the on this one, number 2. The two prongs across number 2, and the other two are a feed coming from, not from the battery side, but from the starter motor side, which for me is the black terminal, to one terminal on the one side, and the other side is comes out to resistor, which came with the kill switch, which I've linked in, heat shrunk and then wrapped quite tightly, and then that goes to earth, just attached to the cross member here, and that's to protect the alternator. The kill switch is used to shut it down. In the off position, no ignition lights, no ignition at all. If I flick that swap, shoot across, now you can hear the fuel pump going on, the ignition, and then turn it off. So that completely cuts the ignition. The cable for that is a 6-foot cable, and goes in the back of the console here. Fed it through. Now I've drilled an 8mm hole through the bulkhead here. I'll show you that comes out the other side, and below that is a 10mm hole, which is for, I've run the pipe work for the extinguisher in through the bulkhead, just trying to get everything sorted so that when I fit the dash panel back, everything's in place. And I've run the extinguisher pipe just down behind, P-clipping it in. I'll just let it terminate. It's in front of the seat here where I've joined, so I'm not sure at the moment. I'll definitely split off at that point. So whether I have the extinguisher in the footwell or in the back, I'm not sure yet. We shall see. Now the two large battery cables, switch cables, 10mm this end of these terminals. On the back here, 8mm to connect up on the battery side. I've run those from the back here up through. I'll show you in a second when I go around to the front where they come out. So here are the two battery cables that go to those switches. One that's marked, that I've marked battery, will obviously connect to the battery clamp. Don't need to get another battery clamp because on the factory one the cables just clip onto here, so that 8mm will just bolt straight onto there instead of these cables, and then these two cables will join into the other one, go back towards, and that's the feed for the starter and so on. So that completes the circuit. And you can see there was a hole there where the air conditioning pipes came through, and the valve that was there. I took that whole piece out. I've just made, again, a piece of almost a cross-shaped aluminium to cover the hole. Put the two holes for the cable in there as grommets, feed them through so they're nice and secure. Still a fireproof barrier between the engine and the passenger bay with that hole in it. And the cables will run here. I will protect those in the engine bay, lead up towards here. The plan is for the starter cable, these two to come off here and probably find some place down there to mount them into, and we just stitch them together with the existing cables for the car. This is the other side of the bulkhead. Those holes in the bulkhead come out here above this engine bulkhead tray. I put them through a T piece here from the OMP pipe, which comes as a complete set. It's probably expensive, about £5–6 for a 4 metre length. That's solid on both sides, pre-kit both sides, and feeds in here. I've fed that down through the tray here again with the grommet to come underneath, and then here I'll run the engine side from here, but this part is complete, so whether I run around the back and probably take from this side and run underneath the scuttle here and come out to bring around the front, and then use this piece here for the rear too for the engine. Then got mounted in the scuttle plastic panel, got these two pulls. One for the ignition pull and one for the fire. The fire's obviously not mounted up yet. Ignition pull, pull it here. You see it switches over the engine, so there you see it explaining, and then pushes back in. The fire cable just fed through. I'll feed a wire back through with the bonnet pull. I'll feed that down the side here. It runs inside the wall. And then comes through through where the bonnet pull came through, and I've got it towed up at the moment. This is a 12-foot cable, plenty here, so I can either run it to the front footwell here for the fire extinguisher, or run it to the back. I've also got to run another pull from within the driver's reach to that extinguisher as well. So this is the terminals from the starter side coming out, which I've joined to the battery terminals with two square battery terminal connectors, and then wrapped up conduit and the insulation. And this is the live feed going into the switch from the battery positive terminal. Again, the normal cover. Fire extinguisher tube, I've now run that along the top of the scuttle there, across coming out the far side. Need a bit of trimming there to get that off, and the end cap, and then feeds in behind the offside wing, and then comes along to the slam panel where I'll fit two jets to go towards the front of the engine.